You're welcome, Fox.
Nick single-handedly funds Las Vegas. 3 days till we get to see Cowboys Bucks. It's not great timing for Dallas, though. The news they received yesterday, they'll be without all-pro guard Zach Martin for the opener after he tested positive for COVID-19. Big blow up front for Dak Prescott, who does need that protection. And for Dallas as a team, Zeke calling Martin, quote, our best player on offense. All right, so that's the Cowboys situation. Flip over to their opponent, the Tampa Bay Bucks. Tom Brady ditching the knee brace at practice after dealing with an MCL injury for most of last season. Brady said, it's good for me to feel like I can move around freely. I had a knee sleeve on for 13 years. Just that little bit of compression keeps a hamstring from working the right way. You try to compress the knee to keep it more stable, but then you're also compressing the quad. This is the first time that I've been able to run and not think about it. I'm not going to turn into Michael Vick out there, but at least I'm not going to be super restricted. Watch out for Tom Brady out of the pocket. We're going to have to change defenses all across the league. Nick, what chances do Dak and the Cowboys have of beating Brady and the Bucks in Thursday's opener? Factor in no knee sleeve. Factor that in.
Yeah, factor in that Tom Brady's, I mean, he's going to be, Jake the Snake Stabler out there. Like, come on, man. Like, stop it. And you wore it for 13 years, but now at 44, he's like, I'm ready to take it off. The knee sleeve thing has to be a TB12 marketing ploy to be named later. So I'm not going to incorporate that into my analysis, Coach. But I think that there's two ways if we are going to use as a blueprint last season. I know that you can't do that always, but for a team like Tampa that brought everyone back, and because it's week 1, we're going to have to use some of last season. Two ways to beat Tampa. One is to try to just get in a shootout and outscore them. And Dallas, at full strength, maybe could do that. If Zach Martin were there, if Dak Prescott were rolling, as opposed to not having played in 10 months, then maybe they could do that. But with no Zach Martin in Dak's first game since he broke his leg, I'm going to scratch that way off the board. The other way to beat Tampa is ferocious pass rush, get to Brady. It's how New Orleans did it twice. It's how Chicago did it last year, if we're using last year. And I know Cowboys fans think I underrate DeMarcus Lawrence, and I know they added Micah Parsons. I get all that. They are not going to have a dominant front seven, certainly not a dominant defensive line. So I don't see a third path. I don't think Tampa's all of a sudden going to make a ton of mistakes. I don't think they're going to have a 3-turnover game. And for those reasons, it's the NFL. So, of course, I'm not going to call it 0%. But I would be very, very surprised if Dallas is able to go to Tampa on ring night or, banner night and beat the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Yeah, I agree with you, Nick. It's going to be really hard for them to do that. And ring night or banner night or whatever you want to call it, it is a pretty incredible experience because all the emotion from the previous season comes flooding back. You remember all the amazing experiences, and it's powerful. It's a powerful feeling going into that first game when that banner comes down. And in the 3 Super Bowls the following season, we beat up on Pittsburgh after the first Super Bowl. We had a close one versus Indy, and then I think the third one we beat Oakland by 10. But that definitely played a part in it. I think the other thing that's difficult is Dallas is going to have a lot of young players, a lot of new players on defense, and that's something that Tom should be able to take advantage of. And I don't know where they'll be offensively and how much they'll roll. And I understand, you lost your starting guard, and it feels like every time we talk about Dallas, there's some reason the offense can't score a bunch of points. And so this is the new one. They lost their guard. So, that's it, I guess.
Coach, I know you were saying that banner night gave the Patriots a lot more enthusiasm. Maybe you were the tie that binds, because after the Patriots beat the Falcons, banner night, Kansas City came and just mopped the Patriots. And after the game, Tom Brady was saying we have to have a championship mentality every day. Belichick said, I agree with Brady. So it felt like on that game, it sort of backfired. The enthusiasm was actually better for the Chiefs. For me, I think that could happen with the Cowboys, that the Cowboys were just going to be hungry. We certainly know Dak's going to be hungry and Zeke's going to be hungry to sort of like get back on the field. I also want to ask your opinion about Dan Quinn. So everyone just made fun of the Cowboys defense last year. Dan Quinn's got to come in and be like, you know what? I'm going to fix this. I'm going to fix it with a new scheme. I'm going to fix it with new players. To me, I think Dan Quinn, who has his own history with Tom Brady, will be hungry to give Tom new element surprise that Dan Quinn's got cooking.
Well, there definitely is an element of surprise in game one either way. And where Dan really helps this defense is he's going to simplify things in a lot of ways. He's going to have the guys playing fast. And I imagine that's how he'll start out, is making sure that everybody understands exactly where they fit and they can play as fast as possible. And that does mean a simpler defense overall, but it gives them, those young players, those new players, the best opportunity to compete in this game that is not only going to be new with them working together, but you don't really know what Tampa's going to come out with either. So I think that's a real advantage. To your point about it going the other way, that's possible too. How you deal with success is an unknown for Tampa Bay. I would imagine that Tom has talked to him about that and the pitfalls of being overconfident, especially going into the opener. But that's real too. You can go into that game thinking, hey, we're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Of course we're going to win. And that overconfidence can kill you with a younger, hungrier team in Dallas.
Yeah, Wilds, I've seen that happen a lot in basketball. You know, teams on opening night, they get their rings, and then they go out there and get clobbered, all right? So it's a possibility, but I'm not giving it a possibility. I give the Cowboys zero chance of winning this game. Zero. I don't think they're ready. They're ready to beat the Giants. They're ready to play, the Eagles on opening night. But they're not ready for the defending Super Bowl champions. And Tom Brady, as Coach said, a week after they won the Super Bowl, he was working out and posting, getting ready for ring number 8. So I don't think he's going to let them be complacent. I think they're going to come out excited about the season, ready to run it back. So I don't think Dallas is ready. Dak's first snap, all right, not series, not game, snap, since he broke his ankle, will be against one of the best defenses in the league. Obviously, Zach Martin is now out. So their offensive unit hasn't even played one series together or one snap together in the preseason. So they got a lot to work on. Now, look, it's not going to ruin their season. That's the silver lining. Their schedule gets a lot easier after week 2. Obviously, they're in that NFC East bad division. And Zach Martin will be back, thankfully, for the Cowboys. So it's nothing to get down on if you're a Cowboys fan when they lose this game. And I would even say if they play Tampa Bay close, if it's 32-24, Nick, like a legit close game. I get it. The Cowboys players, they can't get excited and say moral victory publicly. Yeah. But the fans should feel good about it if they just play. The fans should feel good about it if they play Tampa Bay. Because it'll be a good barometer, Nick. You know I'm right. You're trying to prove
I don't think you're wrong.
My take.
No, I wasn't. I agree with you, actually. I wasn't. I was. The moral victory thing wasn't sarcastic. Speaking of good feelings, Tom Brady is going to be ensconced by good feelings because he's going to get to watch the banner drop. And then shortly after that, I'm sure he's going to, look over on the Cowboys sideline or maybe up into the Cowboys coaching box and say, oh, my old friend, Dan Quinn. I remember when I saw you last when you were coaching the Falcons and I was putting together the greatest comeback in Super Bowl history. And I remember when I saw you before that in a different Super Bowl against Seattle, where I played a perfect second half against your cover 3 defense that I figured out a decade ago and no one told you. So I don't think Brady is going to look at the Cowboys remade defense and be like, oh no, I'm concerned about it. But here's what I am concerned about. I'm concerned about Jake Matthews and Andrew Whitworth. So those are the left tackles for the Falcons and the Rams. And you might say, Nick, why are you concerned about them? Well, because evidently a rule was passed, and I wasn't told about it, that the Bucs are not allowed to play a team's best offensive lineman. Bakhtiari, out of here. Chiefs' entire offensive lineman, out of here. Now Zach Martin, days for the game, out of here. So Jake Matthews with the Falcons, careful, buddy, week 1. Because I feel like there's going to be an ankle or something, because God knows Tampa and Tom need a few more breaks. And facing a fully functional offensive line, can't ask him to do it. So Zach Martin, out of here, days for the game. Love to hear. It's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable, Coach.
Crashing.
Just right days for the game, COVID, Zach Martin gone. Good to know.
It's amazing to watch you find ways to try to take away from Tom Brady.
Yes.
It really is. It's like now it's because it's offensive line problems or it's some pattern of the football universe ruining offensive line, so that the defense is able to rise up and save Tom Brady year in year out. Right? It's been that way.
Out. Fisher being out, Zach Martin being out are just facts.
I understand that Zach Martin is a issue. It's an issue, and losing your guard is not something that you want to have happen. But you didn't lose your starting quarterback, and at some point we got to stop making excuses for why things happen, and just realize that he has the ability to overcome different situations and different problems and win on a consistent basis, where some quarterbacks, when their offensive line is a little bit banged up, they lose, and then some quarterbacks are able to see problems and they win.
And outduel Taylor Heineke. I agree. Everybody can't do that. Everybody
Force multiplier, Coach.
For his 7th Super Bowl ring. I mean, for his 7th one.
Force multiplier. All right, Brady and the Bucs trying to run it back in the NFC. Mahomes and the